That should get the job done. I do believe it so. Woof. Too many stacks. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. Today we'll be playing Mono Black Mid-Range Aristocrats. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck, and let me tell you what, it is absolutely taking over the meta right now. You'll see my personal list within the top 250 Mythic today. We'll showcase the deck's strategies and synergies, and then showcase this all within the gameplay footage. Wrapping up with my final thoughts, deck review, channel shenanigans, in which we have some big news here today. So don't forget to watch to the end, and you may as well like the video to show your support as well. And let's take a look at Mono Black Aristocrats in the Alchemy format. Alrighty, here we are. Blood Brush version 1 is a best of 1 Alchemy deck with a 2.4 average mana value. We have 20 creatures to our 16 non-creatures. An average land here, 24, not average land, I guess a land total of 24. And some new cards in the deck that we should talk about first. The Sanguine Brushstroke for 3 as an enchantment, and whenever it enters the battlefield, create a blood token and conjure a card named Blood Artist directly into the battlefield, which is really good. Whenever you sacrifice a blood token, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Absolutely fantastic, because we can stack blood tokens and then sacrifice them late game to deal a bunch of damage. The Voldaren Bloodcaster is not a new card to the Alchemy format, however, it does synergize well with the Brushstroke. A 2/1 with flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, whenever it or another creature dies, create a blood token. I thought you got one when it entered. Whenever it or another blood token creature dies, create a blood token. No, only when it dies. And then whenever you create a blood token, if you have 5 or more blood tokens, you get to transform it into the summoner. It gets a buff into 3/3, and then at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a blood token, you can have it become a 2/2 bat creature token with flying and haste in addition to its other types. So this is fairly good because, you know, it hits for 2, and then hopefully it hits for another 2, and eventually it'll transform to a 3/3. You know, let's bring that up from 4 to 7, and potentially 9 if you get that bat in there as well, all with flying damage. So the more damage we can do to our opponent with the flyers, the less chip damage that we'll have to do later on through things like the Brushstroke. We also have chip damage through the Meathook Massacre. By no means a new card here. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, we're going to gain 1 life, and whenever one of our creature dies, they'll lose 1 life, right? So we're kind of mixing the Massacre with the Blood Artist to deal a bunch of damage when our creatures are dying. Speaking of creatures of ours that will die, you know, we've got a lot of them. The Curse-Bound Witch, when it dies, we get into the Spellbook, which is really cool. Flipping through this for you quite quickly. Some very good cards. The Pipe Dream is either the Sorcerer's Broom, because we can clone this, and, you know, just more creatures to die is great. But ideally, you have the Oven and the Cat, right? The Cauldron Familiar, and this is going to be really good. But of course, the Curse of Leeches is very good, and then there is the Curse of Reality, Torment of the Scarabs as well. Very high value within the Curse-Bound Witch. The Eye Twitch, when it dies, we learn. We've got, you know, the same sideboard as always. And then the Shambling Ghast, when it dies, we create a treasure or -1/-1 onto another creature. This is very good because we want our creatures to die, right? So we'll have creatures with death effects combined with chip damage for a fair amount of value within the build. Deadly Disruption is cool because it can kill the creatures, which is great, triggering our chip damage. But what it can also do is sacrifice the blood token, which will trigger the Brushstroke, and then we didn't have to lose a creature. We still get to go wide and, you know, put up some walls in front of Loath the Spider Queen. 5 loyalty, 4/4, 0, draw a card, lose 1 life, -3, create 2, 2/1, spiders with reach and menace, and then -8, you get an emblem with whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by 1 or more creatures you control. That player, if they lost less than 8 life, they'll lose life equal to the difference, which, you know, is fine, but we're not really focused on that at all. And then Blood on the Snow wipes the field. All those death triggers go off, and then we bring Loath back into play and kind of restart, you know, the whole thing over. We have Hive, 3/3 for 5 mana, of course. Taps, well, it would tap for 4, but if you have 5, then it's just a creature can attack, of course. So don't make that mistake, and then we get to exile a card from the graveyard when we do so. That's really all we have going on in the deck other than the Fell Stinger. Another sacrifice effect other than Deadly Dispute, which is really nice. You know, we can kill the Witch, we can kill the Twitch, we can kill the Ghast to get, you know, that death effect. Plus the draw, we can even potentially have our opponent draw and deal damage to them if it's going to win us the game, right? We don't want to let them draw, but at the same time, every point of damage counts because there is a lot of it in the build. So, you know, don't be afraid also to pull your Blood Artist back with Blood on the Snow if you can't get your Loath. It's still good enough to bring back by any means, especially if you have that Meathook Massacre in play. So that's the deck, just a quick rip through. If you have any questions or concerns about the build, leave them down in the comments below, and myself and the community will do our best to get to those and try to answer any concerns that you may have. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video to show your support. We're going to get into today's gameplay footage now, so I'm sure you'll enjoy that. And a word about it before we do, I suppose, is there is a ton, an absolute ton of mono black right now in Alchemy. So if you are a fan of mono black, this video is going to be perfect for you because it's a lot of mirror matches. I'm going to be honest. Definitely someone else has been doing this deck. This is my personal version of it. I don't know how far out I am from other people. I see I might be the only one running Blood on the Snow, which I feel is too good to ignore, but you know, more on that as we discover. And I'm sure many of you guys will know, as I don't have time to watch the other creators, where did this deck come from? Who's been playing it? Let me know in the comments below. Always curious, as always, to see who's pumping out the quality brews. Anyways, enjoy the gameplay footage, and then we'll be back afterwards to wrap up with more rambling. On the draw, struggling with our land a bit. Okay, third off the top is nice. We have to make it to 5 or 6 though. And this champion gets so big, so quick. It's unpleasant to say the least. We have the brush stroke. Wow, if it hits, I'm making a treasure, and then I wipe them both. No, I don't want to do it. We could still wipe them both, and I think I do that still. Or we blood first. See if this Blood Artist can survive. I wouldn't mind even just like a Blood on the Snow to bring the Blood Artist back. That could be allowable. Having all the field wipes is helpful. The Headless Rider makes replacements. Alright, so they immediately address the Blood Artist. Another champion. That's to 3. It doesn't attack still, because it doesn't want us to kill either of these other things. And do we just, block, make the treasure? My turn. Another land is great. And, right, just like hook for 2 and then we can blood after. But this is going to be massive because, like, that's going to go to 5. Let's sack the blood token. We gain 1 life, they lose 1 life through the brush stroke. And then we're able to play. That's actually fairly good. There's another blood token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be 7. So I think we can safely play the Witch as well. 4, 5, 6, which is enough for the blood. And then we hook after. Or 2. And bring the Blood Artist back. But then that hook kills it. Well, that part kind of sucks. Bring it back again with the second Blood on the Snow. Who cares? So these are just fairly decent blocks. We're going to get the 2 blood tokens. They get a 2/2 zombie. And their champion gets pushed up. We also get to draft. Gain life, they lose life. I honestly like this a little bit more because we have all those field wipes over the creature. Do we let Loth die, and then bring her back again? This is pretty greedy.
Aren't I generous?
Pretty greedy. They're only on 3 land, though. That may be holding them back, as we're 2 ahead to 5. This is where things kind of begin to turn, though. Oh, okay. They're gonna kill their own rider. So that's doing, like, a lot of this work for us. Of course, the champion's gonna be massive, but that saves us a little bit of work, right? We're still probably just losing Loth, right? Like, they take her out of play. Because the 6 damage doesn't really, you know, down to 14 doesn't matter. So I assume Loth is gone. We're down to 19. And then I assume this is a scoop. Right after we blood here. We only have 4, so we're not bringing Loth back. The Blood Artist is fine. We need that 5th Snowland. Oh, interesting.
You require my aid. I will cull the weak.
They must have another blood, though, too, right? Let's kill Loth. Grab our own. Tit for tat. No attacks. They have the hook. We have the artist. They are at an advantage right here, I would say. We really want to get Torment of Scarabs in play. And they hook as soon as possible. Deadly Dispute can sack a blood token. Or a creature. It doesn't really matter. The creature's nice because it helps Loth. But we'll see if she even survives. No! Straight up exiled. Yikes. We're at 15 there. 18. I will take that double block. 3 creatures die. So in this case, our Blood Artist outpowers the hook. Because the hook only deals damage, you know, if one of their creatures dies. And the Blood Artist does it both ways. Let's enchant them. We played a land? No. So let's Deadly Dispute. Token. Oh no, we did play land. It was the Hive. My bad. No attacks. End our turn. We should have maybe even attacked with our other hive and just taken their Loath away. But with the Torment of Scarabs in play, it doesn't feel that bad. I knew it. You are a dirty dog. So they're coming back for us. They want revenge.
Strong, for they consume the weak. Subservience will be rewarded.
Let's toss the hive. Take the draw. Netherlands. Oh my gosh. Nice. Land out. Loath out. Make the spitties.
Aren't I generous?
And then do we wipe everything for one? We would deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. But they would gain 3 life. Non-land permanent, fairly... Oh, I guess tokens aren't permanent, are they? Yeah, they are. No, a token is still a permanent. It's just a token permanent. Why did they sack the hook? No blocks.
I am merely
I'm so
delayed,
confused.
not defeated.
They
It's
take the draw
good to
down to
bargain
11.
with me.
I'm pretty sure they could have sacked a token. Hit them for 2. Maybe we should have swung in with the land as well. And then Scorpion. Tap Spider. They lose 2 life. They lose more life here. Oh, I guess I should have stung myself. Not that it matters. Because this is lethal. 1, 2. Yep. That should get the job done. I do believe it so. Woof. Too many stacks. And of course we get a bunch of loyalty as well. But she's already gone. So that's alright. And we have a bunch of excess damage waiting to go in there as well. Going first, I don't mind that. Nice 1-drop. Very nice 2-drop. We don't need to ramp into anything with the Ghast, so it can stay there. I mean, you know, we'll get into Blood in the Snow, but we don't even know if they have creatures yet, so let's just get that flyer out in case they play a blocker. Hit for 1. Then in with our Bloodcaster. Otherworldly Gaze for 1 instant speed. Looking at the top 3 of their library, putting any number of them into the graveyard, and the rest back on the top in any order. Flashback for 2. So this is most certainly a Liar deck. Liar has the ability to recast instances and sorceries from the grave, which means, you know, putting them there in the first place. That's fine. That is, muy buen. Ghast in play. Let's take our hit. I honestly think I'm gonna pay 0 for this. Just in case they have some shenanigans, we're still going to benefit from it. They could also be playing something like a Demi-Lich to fill their grave, right? Ooh, Sultai, the addition of green. So blue, black, and green here. They sacrifice the Ghast and kill the Bloodcaster. I'm assuming. Old Rustin. Interesting. Okay, the plot thickens, you guys. I am confused. They mill Diregraph's Rebirth. So it's good to have played the hook early because they will wipe the field and reduce the cost of the recursion spell. Is it one less or two less? One less for each creature that died this turn. Dispute on the Ghast. We gain 1 life. They create a treasure. They create a second treasure, draw 2. 3 mana, 1 blood, 2 creatures, 6 hand, 2 flashback. That's a fairly good start to the match for them, and it's going to get a little bit better here. We're getting another life, though. They're just on the draw, They're looking for land. They're looking for a field wipe, I assume. Not that our 4 damage in turn represents much of a threat. LOL. I've got a Raging Confusion on right now. Rope is up. Do they spend the treasures to activate the blood token for more draw? Just disputing everything. Oh my gosh. So confused! Some might say their confusion is rigid. So they're spending literally everything they can get their hands on. Not ramping whatsoever. May give us the advantage. Every swing we get in with in the air reduces the lifting that the meat hook has to do. I would love a Blood Artist since they're filling the field with tokens. That would be ideal. We're sitting on 5, 6 with the Ghast if they kill it. Twitches can learn. Probably just taking the Pest Summoning because the hook's in play. Yeah, okay. Nice. Easy wins. That was an interesting strategy, Cotton. I don't think it paid off for them. They had the mana available, but they kept spending it on low-cost things, so it restricted them from being able to play, you know, a 4 mana, a 5 mana, a 6 mana spell, which could have then dealt with our field state. Going first, 3 land, 1 drop, 2 drop. I will allow it. There's a ton of 1-drops in the build here, so it's rare that you don't have one to start the game. Which is nice. Really helps with consistency. Ooh, little copycat here. Cursebound Witch is great, though. Swing for 1. Every damage counts. We just kill it. We get that blood token, which is great. They draft. Hopefully it's terrible. Hopefully it's just a terrible card. Eye Twitch out can block the Bloodcaster. They got Witch's Oven. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. That is not good. Let's still swing. This is another blood token. When it dies, the Twitch will learn. They choose not to activate the oven for food. The food will generate life for them later on as well. That could be frustrating for us. Another Bloodcaster in play. Pass our turn. We do have that 4th land out. They, too, are using the Bloodcaster. Interesting. No snowlands for them. We've played a land this turn? Yes. I will attack. Maybe we should have hooked. Probably should have hooked, actually. Right, we're missing out on 1 damage here. But I want to hook on those pests as well, right? It's only 2 damage, we don't care. It's only 2 damage, we don't care. They probably just science, though, and don't play any more creatures, which is sad. Hit for 2, down to 18. Secondary witch. If they get the cat from this witch, I'm gonna freak out. And okay, so they go in. This is a good time for us. Hook for 2. They oven something. Doesn't matter what they oven. So they do get a food token and a blood token, which is great. Plus they draft from the spell book. Hopefully they don't get a Cauldron's Familiar. That's the dream, it truly is. Gaining some life, back up to, what, 21? They're at 22, which is unpleasant. We need a land. We really need that 5th land. If we get it, I'll be very happy. If not, it's so sad. So sad. Come on. Don't disappoint. They're playing their 5th land. And a brushstroke. Oh my god. Painting with blood. We don't get it. We could get it here, though. We lose life, they gain life. Then they lose that life. Because if we don't get it... We get it. Okay, cool. Like, man, this is so risky. We also have the treasure, so we could play to 3. But I don't want that. Let's just go in tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 available mana. So we could discard the pest summoning. So Bloodcaster out. Take our turn. Play low. Is a good card, yes?
My children drench their hands in the blood of my enemy. My power is for annihilation.
As long as they don't get a hook, we are just kind of like stalemating each other. They'll gain life, but we won't lose life. They have 4 blood tokens as well, which is pretty crazy. On top of the brushstroke. I mean, I know we have 3, but we don't have a brushstroke. They can kill Loth if they use the Hive. But then we can kill the Hive. So this is interesting. I like this. This is fairly good for us. They're tapped. They're going to sacrifice the Hive here, and I think our creatures will survive. We lose Loth. How important is it for them to kill our spiders? Very.
I will not cry like a...
Okay, we lose another 2 life. They gain 2 life, and then we deal 2 damage. And then we also gain life through the hook. It's quite the thing. Resolve all. You get a ton of blood tokens. Woof! This is now 3/3. My turn. This is the 5th Snowland. Kill all the creatures. Loth is back. So they sack the Bat Summoner. They're 29. Fighters!
Do what I demand.
Go get them. I don't want to really use our blood tokens until we have our own brushstroke in play, if we can get it. I feel like we've been on the back end of this match the whole time. Nice. They only have 3 cards left in hand. Still think we go for it. Just sack the blood token. Because what good are the blood tokens if we don't have the brushstroke? Just try to find the brushstroke. That should be our biggest goal. We don't get it. Womp, womp, womp. Let's take our turn. Pest summoning. Witch. Gassed. Take our draw. Should have done that first.
Go, my children.
Play land. No attacks. End turn. This becomes a 3/3. Oh no, sorry. It becomes a 3/3, and then they can have a bat become a 2/2 as well. Alright, so they get another draw through the dispute. We've drawn so many lands, I feel like. We can block, and their Blood Artist is gone. This is good. For now. Anyways. I'm nervous. So this will become a 3/3. It also brings out a blood token as a 2/2. Bell Stinger. I imagine they just want to draw on itself. Okay, that'll trigger the meat hook. They also get another blood token here. Woof. It's a 3/3. And then one of the blood tokens becomes a 2/2. I'll just double block, keep the Planeswalker alive if we can, hopefully. Now, as long as there's not removal on our spiders. There is. Oh no. Dang it.
Aren't I the generous one?
So I activate the blood token, try to find a deadly dispute. And that would push Loth to 3. And she would survive. Another land. We can do it one more time because we have the treasure. No. Just take out the blood token. We still lose Loth, which is bad news bears. We've one more blood on the snow, and then just organic copies of Loth.
Aren't I generous?
Bellstinger's pretty nice. Can help us get going again. We'll sack the witch. What's in their graveyard? Do we need to take a Loth out of there? Well, they can't bring it back. So, massive swing. I say massive, but it's only 4 damage. Leave me alone, alright? It feels good. Exploit the witch. We lose 2 life. Our opponent loses 1 life. We draw 2 cards, and then we draft. Is it the Cauldron Familiar? I mean, we don't have the oven, they do. But what if... I don't want to play that in case they take it back. Screw it. Let's go for it. Land in play. Twitch out. Sting the Twitch. Target ourselves. They'll lose 1 life. We lose 2, draw 2. And, should it be Mascot Exhibition, probably? Let's just play the cat at this point. We could have went with another Stinger, but I don't want to take myself too low. Their turn. A little nervous. A little nervous. We're getting hit for 5 as a minimum. But it's to the point where they might want to just spend all their mana to wipe the field. Need a Blood Artist really bad. Big hit. Unpleasant. Down to 11. And they could deal 4 damage to us. Oh! 8 damage. 10 damage. Dang. Dang, 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 dang. This is bad. And then another land. This is so bad. They just have lethal. I mean, Scorpion the Pest to gain life. And then deal the damage to them. Thank you. We need a lot of life gain. Oh. They have another Blood Artist. I totally forgot about that. So we have to take the Ghast. Kill the Blood Artist. I'm gonna make them draw. I'm gonna deal as much damage as I can. Just go, 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 go. Hopefully it doesn't screw us. Basically just nullifies this Blood Artist. We need that artist out of play, though. And they still just have lethal. Right? That was a good game. They beat us with the blood tokens. They just deal 10 damage. Sucks. That sucks. We won't make him do it. Whoops. 94%. Big Daddy in the house. I can only imagine the jank that Big Daddy's playing. What you got? Ooh. Little Mirskis, potentially. Pass turn, dispute the Ghast on a chump block. We want to hook first and foremost. Right? Or do we just kill the... No, we just treasure. Get to that hook. Treasure and get to the hook. Take both creatures instead of just one. Woof! We got some support on Twitch there. I'm going to have to read some names out here. His Twitch names are so hard to read out. Even some of the YouTube names, they're a little bit better on YouTube. But, yeah, as, you know, self-admitted illiterate, it's, it gets tough. It gets tough. Do we just straight loath it? I mean... If that doesn't equal a scoop, I don't know what does. They could deal with her, right, if they have some removal, but it's like, how often do you get that opportunity to loath on 3, right? The Robness has gifted 5 tier 1 subs to Taco Farm, Blue Sapphire, Juju2112, Boom 3, and Manipulants. Look, you guys, I got through the names. I did it! Thank you so much, the Robness, for the support. I really appreciate that. The Stinger on the Witch. They go down to 18, draw 2 cards. Create a blood token as well. Good value, good value, good value. And we can, of course, block if we need. Land out. Hook for 2. And that way, we're getting the triggers off our own deaths. Beautiful.
My will cannot be denied.
And then let's just draw a card. I don't want Loath to die.
My words are for
Land is good. And we can brush stroke and twitch now on top of Loath, on top of the meat hook. Very good. The Witch's Cottage was the card that they drafted from the Witch. It's in there. It's part of the spell book. Not part... Well, it could be part of their deck, but it's right there. You've seen it. You've seen it. We just rehook this? Like, how do you not? Please and thank you. And now Loath is totally set. She's good to go. They create a treasure here. Two treasures. And they learn. Plus they draft again. They've got good value going on for them. They do indeed. We gain some life, though. That's really nice. Just using Loath as a draw engine, we have our own creatures. We'll get there. We'll get there. We could have played the Twitch first, wiped, taken the learn. I don't think we're in that much of a rush, though. They are at 5, 6, 7 available mana. It could be Mascot Exhibition. They spend, aka waste, their treasures. Just keep taking the draw. I'll allow it. A fairly thick field. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage on board, potentially. This is another draft card. And then the Stinger sacks it because it can force a draw from the grave. Pay 3, exile it from the grave, draw a card, and lose 1 life. It's decent. It's decent. The Stinger triggers themselves, though, and that's like dealing damage, which is my job. They're doing it for us. Let me ask you a question. Did I just do your job for you? Oh, one of my favorite scenes from It's Always Sunny. Did I just do your job for you? Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito. What an absolute legend. 3 blocks. Just taking it nice and easy. We don't really need the treasure, so we'll just take care of that. And then there's a ton of damage here. Doing alright. Poor daddy. I'm Big Daddy now. Some more damage through the Blood Artist, which is a busted card. It was busted in his... Well, it still is busted in Historic, I suppose. Let's take the Pest Summoning. And the Oven. Hey, did we have the Cat? Was that this match? No, I think that was the other match. Oh, my lord. Please have mercy. That is a second brushstroke. Good game. Was unpleasant. I feel kind of bad. Nah. Opponents on the play. Keeping 7. They are out nice and slow. The Witch is a greater threat defensively. It's got a little bit more base statage. No flying, but I think we're going to be okay. We're playing against Clerics. While we're waiting, let's check out Miss Maya in studio, getting those laps in. Getting those laps in. Let's scooch her over to the side so we can still finish our turn. It is Clerics, yeah. Hit for 1. Double Twitch. This Clerics deck is absolutely disgusting. You need like a Shadow's Verdict to effectively deal with it. We don't have this. That will be another, I repeat, another eye twitch though. And this is kind of sad because they're just going to shoot up to 27. I wonder what the blue is for. It must be just the Mimic, right? That's only our 4th land. No attacks. And they have a perfect turn 2, 3, and 4. And 5. Wow. This is going to be really hard for us. Another Righteous Valkyrie. Cool. You're awesome. You are awesome. This is so bad. We will take, I guess, 2 Necrotic Fumes. LOL. We take Aura. We draft from the spellbook. Oh no, we don't draft because it was Exile that didn't die. That's fine. Very rock and roll, my friend. Nice. That's something. And we do not have our 6th land. The meat hook wouldn't get there for us. Good game. We brick. It is what it is. Alrighty. Blood Brush version 1. Absolutely dogging it. We could get a little bit more aggressive. The Dracolich might be alright. You know, it's coming in. It deals 5 damage in the air. Really, really, really reduces the amount of chip damage that we have to do. And we've seen how important that is. The Twitch, the Bloodcaster, getting that consistent damage in through the air feels absolutely fantastic. So if we could do that, you know, the Dracolich is probably best because it comes in end step. But if we could have a 3-drop flyer as well, I think that could be beneficial. What flyer do you think would go in this deck? There's also Henrika. What's the name of this thing? I don't even know. It's expensive and it's a flyer. I don't know its name. It's the one that transforms. It's 4 mana. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. Not the Dracolich. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Henrika. So this might be good as well, right? Because this forces a sacrifice effect, which could be good. You know, it also has flying, which is fantastic. So I'm kind of torn as to which flyer we could run in addition to what we have now. But I do think that we should definitely focus on flying and the chip damage. This brings me now also into the Scarecrow. That is brand new. I think it's a 3-drop. And this would add flyers, right? The Wicker Wing Effigy for 3 mana, a 1/4 defender. You may look at the top card of your library at any time and cast creature spells from the top of your library. Whenever you cast a creature spell from your library, it becomes a black bird in addition to its other colors and types, and has flying and base power and toughness of 1/1. The Shambling Ghast, the Eye Twitch, and the Cursebound Witch are already 1 toughness creatures, so we could give them all flying. Of course, I know the Twitch already has it. I just think that is fairly decent as well. It also allows us to flood the field with creatures in front of our Meat Hook, in front of the Brushstrokes, Blood Artist, and of course Loth. That's kind of what I have for ideas for the deck. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Always appreciate your input. Have a magical day. Maybe watch some more content. And did you guys notice 500,000 gold? Nobody else is going to do it for me. I've been working at that for a while. Halfway there. Next step, 1 million gold. Make sure to re-roll your 500 gold quests into 750s. Track your win rate and partake in the events once you've got a good deck and a good feel with it, based or how it engages within the meta, stuff like that, right? Anyways, enjoy. Have a magical day. We'll see you soon in the next.